Good morning, everyone. My name is Valerie Labi Gundu Satanawan, aka Mrs. Dagadu, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Wahu Mobility. Now, Wahu Mobility, we are on a mission to transition the world to sustainable fleets. And we do this by starting with heroes. Can I get my slides up, please? Starting with heroes that sit at the center or the nexus of three main industries: e-commerce, e-mobility, and fintech. And so by sitting at the nexus of these three main industries, we are creating a community of sustainable and resilient riders. And these resilient riders, like Levi here, there'll be 80 million of them, 80 million gig economy workers, according to a recent MasterCard Foundation study, by the end of 2030. And even though they're the heart of these industries, they are unbanked, they have very little productivity because they can't access a consistent pipeline of deliveries, and they experience very high costs. So we all know that fuel prices have gone up, and over the last year, an average delivery rider will spend 80% of their earnings on petrol. And most riders we see don't own their vehicle. And this is essentially what we sought to change. And so we started by designing electric vehicles to suit the context. Can you raise your hand if you came to the conference today in a car, a motorbike, or a bus? Raise your hand, let me see. Okay. Keep your hand up if the vehicle you came in was made by an African. Okay. Keep your hand up if the vehicle you came in was electric. Okay. And so that's essentially the start of the problem that we're trying to solve. Because over the next 10 years, every vehicle on the continent is going to change. But what it changes to is really down to us. It could change to continue importing second-hand combustion engine vehicles, or we could make the transition to locally designed, locally made electric vehicles. And so most of you, if any of you have heard of Wahu, you would normally think of us as the e-bike people. But as of last week, we also had a breakthrough that I want to share with you on building a skateboard for a four-wheeler electric vehicle that's been designed here in Ghana by aerospace engineers, by drone specialists, and Ghanaian engineering capability. So this was our very first drive. Our factory is just on Spintex. So I think speaking to the four corners of the square, we see ourselves as both the entrepreneurial ecosystem, but also collaborating strongly with academic institutions to create an R&D arm within our business. And this is the very first vehicle that we went to market with. Can I get a wahoo? Can I get a wahoo? And so this is Levi. You saw him earlier on the slide. So our e-bike that we've gone to market with is the very first electric vehicle to come out of Wahu. It is a dual battery system, so it has a range of 140 kilometers, so you can basically ride from here to Kwewu. A delivery rider, on average, can charge at home, so you can charge the vehicle anywhere, you take the batteries off, and you can plug in a normal 3-pin, and then you can do a whole day's worth of delivery and get home again. So we're not just about designing vehicles, we're also about getting the vehicles on the road with gig economy riders. So what we like to say is that we want to find a productive pathway to ownership. And one of the things that we do in order to do this is all our vehicles are connected to a digital ecosystem. So we track how the vehicle is being used. We also are creating visibility of a community of sustainable riders, and that allows us to offer fleet partnerships to the e-commerce platforms such as Bolt, which now means that every gig economy rider gets a sustainable vehicle with a job, a tracked vehicle, and we also embed insurance. And the way that we actually connect everything is through what we call our digital ecosystem. So with the bike, we also have coded an app that allows us to aggregate all the data into one place and then provide services. So just to show you a little bit about our app platform. With Wahu, a rider can ride with us, subscribe to own to an e-bike for 300 cities a week, earn and do more, join a community that cares, and what we call win with Wahu. So by tracking the kilometers that a delivery rider rides, we also are selling the carbon avoided into the compliance market as another way of generating revenue to reward riders. Riders can find out about their payment plans through the app. They can also find out information on their bike, schedule training sessions, and then also successfully onboard and share the app with their other colleagues. The platform also allows us to track data, such as the rider safety score. Yeah. Can you go to the next slide for me? Brilliant. So we started with the car, we moved on to an e-bike, and then it's connected through our app. So this now means that every single rider that you see who's branded Wahu in town actually has all the data around their earnings, around how they pay off an asset, but also how they move at the palm of their hand. And the final thing for us was around how do we make this inclusive? So we believe that e-mobility is a big opportunity for what we call women delivers. So as of last week, we also launched in Lomé, as well as Accra, a program that focuses on how we support women to enter the courier and logistics service. And so, just to close, we like to say that we are charged with freedom, and our warehouse is on Spintex. Thank you very much.